right now. From the studios of KTAB, KRBC, and Telemundo Abilene, this is a presentation from the Big Country Storm Team. Storm Ready.
And welcome to the Big Country Storm Team Severe Weather Special, Storm Ready. I'm Chief Meteorologist Sam Nichols from KTAB.
And I'm KRBC Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith.
And during bouts of severe weather, we bring you the latest information to keep you safe along with your family.
And we're more devoted to that mission than ever before. That's why we're launching the Big Country Storm Team. Sam?
Well, with a team of dedicated meteorologists, 7 in all, bringing you live reports, social media updates, and storm tracking, more and more information. You're going to know exactly where the storm is and when you should take cover.
And when a third of the Big Country is at an enhanced risk for severe weather, we'll combine our efforts, KRBC, KTAB, and Telemundo, to bring you the latest storm updates together.
Now, we took similar action back in May of 2019 when we saw destructive tornadoes impact communities all across the Big Country. And we're prepared to do that again if needed this spring or summer.
And like you mentioned, Sam, Abilene was one of those unfortunate enough last year to take a direct hit from the NEF2 tornado in the morning hours of May 18th, a Saturday of what was looking to be a beautiful weekend coming up for the entire area. Severe weather is something we see every year, usually in the springtime, and just last year, last May, we saw tornadoes of our very own here in the Key City, and behind me is actually still signs of that devastation. This lot behind me has been cleared out. That house was condemned and torn down. Behind me here, we still have a house that is active, still on the premises, not torn down yet, but you can see the roof is missing. This building is condemned. The fence is blown over. Just still signs of devastation almost a year later, and that's just how dramatic and how devastating these tornadoes can be when they impact communities like Abilene. Going back to that Saturday morning in May of 2019, the damage was still fresh. Trees were stripped bare, branches laying on homes and in the streets, fences were blown over, and entire roofs were missing from the tops of their houses. Cars were flipped over with all their windows missing, along with businesses like U-Haul with trailers and vehicles damaged beyond repair. Across Highway 8384, a nursing home took a direct blow, knocking out windows and electricity. In all, 328 structures were damaged, of which 317 were residential homes. Now, thankfully, there were no serious injuries from that tornado hit, and that wasn't just the only one that hit that day. A couple weeks ago, we had a close call of our own with tornadoes again here in Abilene and the Big Country. And while there's no way to prevent a tornado from hitting your home or community, there's plenty of ways to keep yourself safe when a tornado strikes.
And that tornado ripped houses apart, it smashed vehicles, it shredded trees. All that was damaged, it was very visible. But there was also a lot of damage done that Saturday morning, just as devastating, but not to the casual observer. It was in the pre-dawn hours of that Saturday morning of May 18th of last year when a destructive tornado dropped out of nowhere and changed the lives of several Abilene families forever.
At first I was thinking, this doesn't really mean anything, but something inside me was like, maybe let's just check it out.
Immediately as I split open the blinds, I saw transformers exploding from across the highway about over the U-Haul place.
It was classified as an EF2 with winds between 111 and 115 miles per hour. More than 100 structures at Abilene were damaged or destroyed.
Trees were rustling, bushes were rustling, and then it just died. And in that same exact instant, everything went crazy.
With a tornado right on top of them, Dennison and Heather had to react quickly, and that made all the difference.
And it was probably within 3 seconds. He looked at me with this look in his eyes and was like, get into the bathroom right now. I hustle it to the center bathroom, and as soon as he shut the door, the lights died.
This situation was made even more chaotic because of a wild card. Heather was 9 months pregnant.
We weren't exactly parentship, but I was still carrying our son, and he wasn't here yet, but he was still our top priority.
Thankfully, the Helms had a disaster plan, and they put it quickly into action.
We run through those scenarios of what would happen in this instance, and that was just ingrained in the back of my head.
But on that scary morning, more was damaged than homes and businesses.
In those first 2 weeks when rainstorms did come, and when we had some wind, I was very much on high alert.
Then it was find a new place to live so that we can have a home. We can set up some place for Cody to be and take him home to.
It's been nearly a year, and looking at the homes and businesses that have been repaired or replaced, it seems that a sense of normalcy has been restored. And on the surface, it looks like everything is okay.
After it's happened, every wind rustle, every whistle that you hear from the wind blowing against a door, it sends a tingle up your spine, and you go, is it happening again?
Or like many tornado survivors have said, when the skies darken and thunder roars, their memories return.
It could happen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It could happen at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And there's no such thing anymore as just another storm.
It puts a whole different perspective on it when you actually go through one.
I'm meteorologist Sam Nichols.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the emergency alert system that's already saved lives in Abilene and beyond. Stay with us.
And before we get to that, we have a story ready for you from KRBC meteorologist Susanna Arguello, who has more on the cause of severe weather. Susanna?
Now, with severe weather right around the corner, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the setups really necessary for convection to commence. A low pressure system will bring forth a cold front. Now, behind this cold front, we see dry, cool air, and ahead of it, we see warm, humid air. Now, when these two interact, they do cause instability right on that cold front, which allows for some of these storms to actually produce heavy rains and even downpours. But as we bring in a strong jet, we actually start to see some of this instability increase. Now, this can cause up to damaging winds, large hail, flash flooding, and even an isolated tornado.